Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be in Bratislava again. Every time we come from Amsterdam to here, we take the hub of Vienna Airport. We get a car and we drive up to Bratislava, and about 25 kilometers from this beautiful city, you already see the lighted castle, and that is really a good landmark. And if you see that, you know that you're very close. You have to make a little turn, and then you enter into the lovely city. Now in the Tatra Hotel, and I'm going to present you something about the crowdfunding connection we have with Crowdabout Now. First of all, I want to say something about my previous speakers. We have to really bear in mind that there's a huge difference between America and Europe if we talk about crowdfunding. In America, it is really about donations, and in Europe, it is more and more about investments. And the figures we see also reflect that. If we see in Europe, you see the UK, Germany, and Ireland, which are really the front runners of crowdfunding in Europe. The Netherlands is lagging a bit behind, but catching up quite soon. The Netherlands we had in 2013, we had around 34 million euro, which was financed via crowdfunding. They predict for this year that it will be around 80 million. The UK has about, well, I think Crowdcube sitting somewhere in the back there over there, right? That's 1.1 million pound or something, billion pound in 2013, something like that. Quite much more than in the Netherlands, but so we see that we are getting there. 2014 also in crowdfunding land will be something special because laws and regulations will also change. Equity funding is able to be done in several countries, but not all of them. So all of the national governments will really look upon equity as being able for an individual to have an equity part in a crowdfunding platform, a crowdfunded company. Next to that, you see the huge numbers of platforms. We expect also maybe 2015, but we also expect a shakeout because the business model of crowdfunding platforms is still difficult. Some of them use a fee whenever you enter into the platform. Some of them use a percentage of, let's say, closing the deal or really finding the money. Some of them use a percentage during the way, the periods of the financing. So in crowdfunding land, a lot of things will change. Also cross-border, of course, it's going to be very interesting to find a beautiful startup via platform in Slovakia whenever I'm sitting on my desk as an individual investor in the Netherlands. Up to now, there are still some regulations to be covered, but that will be done, I think, in 2014. Actually, of course, crowdfunding in Europe really started also with all of the bank regulations, the increased and severe regulations called Basel III for keeping cash at the banks really opened up the possibilities of crowdfunding, or made it necessary, actually. You will see a lot of startups now using crowdfunding as one of their base financing methods, but maybe also as a mean to get more bank loans. But you also see more SME companies who want to invest in expansion using crowdfunding as a platform to go there. In 2011, and I'm trying to get into my presentation now. In 2011, Incubator Leeuwarden tried to connect with one of the platforms in the Netherlands because we saw also the opportunities of crowdfunding for our own incubatees. Basically, Crowdabout Now is a platform in the Netherlands which is referring the assessment to a regional partner. There are many platforms who try to assess the company who wants to find money themselves, but Crowdabout Now puts it away into the region. We are the regional partner for Friesland, for 650,000 people in Friesland, maybe everybody still remembers. We are known for our dairy industry, the black and white printed cow. We have a lot of sailing opportunities and recreation opportunities, but a very small part of the Netherlands. 650,000 people, and for Crowdabout Now, we are the partner. And we wanted to be the partner as an incubator, because also that gives you deal flow. And our previous speaker talked about creative incubators around Europe and doing a lot of survey and research there. I think the name of the game is deal flow. If you have a lot of people coming to the incubator with a nice, good startup idea, and the same goes for all of the platforms, then you really can step up your quality, pick out the best ones, and host them in your incubator and create a perfect track record. With Crowdabout Now, also we try to do that. In the Netherlands, if you take a look at all of the crowdfunding platforms, some of the platforms start at €100 as an investment base, some of them €250, but Crowdabout Now starts at €10. There's a negative side, of course. If you have, let's say, many times €10, you have in the end a lot of commitment to be done to many persons. The platforms take over that commitment for you as a company, but in the end, let's say contractual, all of the €10 providers are able to make a claim on you whenever you're not able to pay back the loan. That is a lot of people. So there is also something to say for getting that boundary a bit up to €100 or more, because well, it goes faster, of course, in the investment, and it gives you as a company less responsibilities to less people. How it goes, people tell they want to go on to Crowdabout Now platform. We get a notice because it's coming from our region. We contact the company, and we're going to invite them for a conversation. And after the assessment, we're going to make a contract with them. They pay us €150 upfront, and €350 if they complete and finalize the money transfer from the crowd to them. So in the end, our services cost them €500. Most of the time, we have to help them with the business plan. Say all of the things you have to do as an incubator anyway. The business plan, the marketing, the social networks, the whole networking thing, making a movie out of it, getting really all of your acquaintances, friends, families, fools around you to invest in you, and then also using that platform of Crowdabout Now to really make it even wider and bigger. I just wanted to draw a picture. I think everybody has looked upon their respective crowdfunding platform sites in their countries. Obviously, some countries are less developed in that, some are more developed in that, but usually what you see as a potential investor is a lineup of ideas. You will see, if there's a pointer here, in the middle. Oh, really? Okay. You will see, of course, always a green line, like how far are they now in their investment. And most of the time, it really helps if you have that kind of measurements on your crowdfunding platform. The attention of people is drawn towards the most successful ones. So our advice also to the companies who want to make the financial contribution is, when you start getting on the platform and when you are there, really use your friends and network as fast as possible to create this green line to go up. Because the better it is and the higher it is up, the more chance you have that people will connect and associate with a successful idea. I put here a little example of a Rotterdam company who was going to get money, and they already made it, for baby care products. Most of the time, via crowdfunding, we see that it is the B2C products which score best. Something a consumer can use, something a consumer can connect to or understand. So babies, retail, coffee bars. You saw the example of wind energy, so energy for the households. Something a consumer can really grasp and understand that makes a contribution to them, either in reward system, in kilowatt hours, or in money, in rent in the end, interest in the end. Something which has to do with computers. I think about consumers. What you see in a lot of US Kickstarter examples and stuff is more the rewards and sponsor deals. I see a lot of gaming companies doing Kickstarter in the US, and they offer a sword which is used by the head character of the game. If you give €10,000 or $10,000, you will get a T-shirt. You see a lot of, let's say, business to business going through that kind of channel. So 3D printers, how to really get a 3D printer in this company or develop a new 3D printer is more also for the techs and nerds who want to really contribute to the design of this and to the opportunity to have that later on in the market. But crowdfunding as such really goes best with something a consumer grabs best. Crowdabout now is not the most successful, but a successful crowdfunding platform in the Netherlands. About 50 successfully funded companies. We have assisted only 2 in that. So not a large contribution from Friesland, but as I told you, we are a small province, a small region. But it gives you a flow of companies to our incubator, which is good, and which forms the base of something I will tell later. 1.6 million euro. We see in the Netherlands that the general financing people get from the market is between 35 and 40,000 euro now, if they are commercially oriented and are going for the crowdfunding. But the number is going up. So the more and more known crowdfunding becomes, the higher the numbers. So there's another crowdfunding platform. They already have an average of around 100,000 euro credit line to get whenever you post your opportunity on a crowdfunding platform there. Those numbers are getting interesting. There are more and more people who are willing to invest in something. Also based on a very low interest in the banks. There are many people who have some money, some savings, and they want to do something good. So there is a lot of, let's say, welfare or social bond, social return, and they want to make some money. Well, don't go to the bank because it will cost you money. You pay more tax over the interest you get than the interest you get. So better go to something which gives you better return. Well, there's still a huge variation in returns. The return of, and I have it underneath. If you go for crowdfunding, you probably have a interest cost of average 8.5%, 9.5%. Some costs of funding, 1% closing the deal on a platform, maybe sometimes 2% closing the deal on a platform, sometimes 0.1% per month during the running and the term of your finance. There are several business models, as I already said. The platforms are really struggling with that. But in the end, you have to take into account it will cost you around 2, maybe 3% having that platform, using the platform to get your money. And then you have to offer your crowd something. And that is sometimes between 4, 5, 6, and sometimes a normal business angel kind of percentage of 9%. It is not a very cheap way of financing your company, but it is a very effective way of financing a company. And you can use it as a leverage. Platform costs, the Crowdabout Now platform costs 1% deal making fee, deal closing fee. Yes, you have to do something. 3,500 euro is the minimum at Crowdabout Now. There are also platforms who use less. And the more into the art in the creative sector, the less it becomes. And the more into the equity-based, the higher it becomes. And there's, I think, a maximum in the Netherlands of 1.2 million euro to be raised via a crowdfunding platform if it's connected to equity. If you go up there, the authority of financial markets, the regulative body, will kick in and does something. We coach people, we tell them how to make the video, we tell them what is interesting, the rewards they give. It's very, very important that you build in rewards. That you tell, like if you, one of the best examples I've seen in the Netherlands is a little bar in Utrecht, the center part of the Netherlands. They wanted to find about €75,000 for doing the purchase of the inventory of the bar. And one of the inventory details was the bar stools. If you invested more than €2,500, you will get a name tag for that year on the bar stool. So the meaning, if you come into the bar, it is yours. No matter who's on there, but it is yours because you invested in it. People love that kind of ideas. People want to have a return. We have a company now in Leeuwarden. We are actually in the process of assisting them with the crowdfunding. They are going to sell very biological sandwiches and also biological organic coffee to go with it. So everybody who is investing in that company now, €150 and more, will get in the remainder of the year a free coffee if they get their sandwiches in that company. And they just provide little tax. You come with a kind of loyalty program to that company. People love that. Extras, benefits. You have to really think about it if you go into crowdfunding. So the coaching part and the assistant part of how they should do it and what to use is very, very, very important. Also, if they make the video, they have to make it personal. They have to really show that they really are eager to start with the company and that they are very emotional and they really want it very badly. They have to connect to the audience. It is really, you need also a good cameraman. If you use your iPhone for making that kind of a video, it doesn't work. You need a good cameraman. It does cost you something, but okay, you can find a lot of artists around you, creative people who really are able to make some good camera work. But our advice is always use a very good cameraman. If you're going to this and you have your own social network already connected, it gives you another very, very good advantage. If you have that shop in the center of the city and you're connecting and getting financed by crowdfunding, you already have a large client base. You have people you can already invite to your opening. You have people who are going to use your reward system to get discount on the products they can buy there. So building up a client base is one of the big advantages of using crowdfunding as a means of financing. If you really get your money, all of your money, via crowdfunding, and you have to make a financial plan for that, we also help there, because 9% is quite a high percentage. If you have a very quick cash generating company, okay, it's not so bad. But if it takes longer, you might need a lower investment of a bank to connect with a crowdfunding idea. It's better to start with the crowdfunding, because if you have the crowd already interested and you have a large client base there, it talks a lot easier to the bank. So always keep in mind that you have a hybrid kind of forms of financing, of course, in a company, and you can use both forms. Now the city of Leeuwarden, policymakers. DIFASS is also about changing policies. In the Netherlands, we have a phenomenon which is called the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is a public paid body where you have to register your company obligatory. In the old days, you had also to pay a yearly contribution to the Chamber of Commerce, all of the companies in the Netherlands. They have changed that 2 years ago, and they changed into a total state-paid Chamber of Commerce. And now they discovered it's very expensive. So they are cutting down on the cost of the Chamber of Commerce. They want to stick on the obligatory registration of companies and the control of companies. And as a limited, you have to provide financial details and so on. But all of that can be done by internet. So there is a phasing out of the Chamber of Commerce. So where every city, major city in the Netherlands, had a location of the Chamber of Commerce about 10 years ago, 5 years ago it already went into a kind of regional thing. So the major cities in the region had a Chamber of Commerce location. 5 years from now, there will be no location anymore of the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce was also a statistic provider of startups, of everything which has to do with SMEs and SME development, to the regional and the local policymakers. The Chamber of Commerce was seen as the representative, they were not really, but the representative of the SMEs. It's gone in 5 years. So the city of Leeuwarden said, we want to stay ahead of what is happening in the market. So what we want is a kind of marketplace where all of the regional ideas come together. People have an idea either in the creative sector, in the business-to-business sector, whatever, in the company startup sector. We want to see what's happening here. We want to know if they're looking for other opportunities, other connections, other companies, knowledge, and we want to really keep ahead. So they asked us, as the Incubator Leeuwarden, to make a platform where all of these people can come in and can share their ideas, can ask their questions. Such a platform costs around 30,000 euro to invest in. And then you have a nice look and feel. We haven't ready yet, otherwise I would have shown. But then you have a nice look and feel, and then you have something which, let's say, is attractive. But which is attractive to people, well, always difficult. Of course, you can make a lot of noise and marketing and commercials, but money is interesting. So what we are going to do is connect a crowdfunding means and mechanism to it. And that crowdfunding will be very interesting because the crowd will say yes to 80% of the financing. 20% of the financing, if they make that 80%, will be done if you're a civilian from that city of Leeuwarden, by the city of Leeuwarden, against the same conditions as the crowd. That is a good leverage. That means that people say, hey, I want to go for 50,000 euro. That's what I need for my business. But if I live in Leeuwarden, I only need to get 40,000 from the crowd, from my family, friends and fools around me. The last 10,000 will be done by the city of Leeuwarden against the same conditions. So there's no hassle with public offering or other complicated things the authorities always have to do. It is against the market price. Very interesting, and a traffic generator. That means that it's a deal flow generator also for the incubator, because of the new ideas and the new companies and the new things will come to that website. We will filter it. We are mastering the website, and we are connecting it to crowdfunding. It is simply, you can use plug-in crowdfunding platforms. In the UK, there are several plugins to be used, and that is the mechanism of how you make the contracts with the crowd, and also the contracts with the companies who are willing to offer their ideas to the platform. It is new. It's not there yet in the Netherlands. This way of connecting the policy and policy making of a city to crowdfunding, and we are building it. Next to that, of course, we use the whole site in connecting to financial world, to the banks, to the business angels, to the venture capitalists around us. But that's the normal thing as we as an incubator do anyway. So it's only gathering information, put it on a website and use it. We need about 20 hours a week. We forecast from a person to monitor and let's say develop the site or monitor the site. All of the ideas which come in, we want to get the garbage out, of course, but we also want to have new ideas, new things about entrepreneurship, where you have to go, where you can find electronic ways of assistance of writing your business plan, and so on, which is all available on the web around us. We are connecting that to the website. I'm looking forward we see around summer, end of the summer, we hope we have the website ready. So I hope that before the end of the DIFASS program, I can show you how it turned out. That was my presentation for today. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm open for questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Except from Sture.
Very interesting presentation, and we want the presentation on specific cases because we don't know very well crowdfunding. Just practical questions. How much time it will take to create the platform?
The platform itself?
Yeah.
Well, the IT company we asked thinks it's ready in about 3 months.
All right. How many will work since you have the platform? How many people are going to work in
Work?
In the platform? How many employees? You
Oh,
will have?
half an FTE will take care of the platform.
One.
Yeah, 20 hours a week. One person, 20 hours a week. But only on that platform, on that one, the specific one.
Okay.
If you have a crowdfunding platform, you don't need 20 hours a week to maintain a crowdfunding platform itself.
Okay. About those who ask for money, I suppose you are going to work on Netherlands.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to
the region, even the region?
Yeah. Are you going to see them and they come to you? How you arrange it?
Yes, people will drop their idea on the website, and then we make a kind of, let's say, we have about 5 dragons, which will ask questions to that person who already dropped the idea, and the better they answer, the higher up in level they got, and we'll make a kind of monitor for that as well. And if they pass all the questions, they're invited for a conversation in the incubator.
All right. And which will be the cost? Which will be the cost of the platform?
30,000 euros.
30,000 euros. All right. And what about taxes?
Taxes?
You have to pay taxes?
No. Yeah, how do you mean? No.
No. First of all, there is the question of regulation and the legal framework.
Yeah, but we're going to do loans only and not equity.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. Here.
Sorry. Yeah, the light from the projector. Sorry.
Okay. Actually, it was quite a refreshing presentation. What you said. I just wanted to ask you, you mentioned you involve specialists for the financial and to get a clear investment package. The question is, how deep do you go as far as let's say, the business model actually is going to work? Do you provide some ideas like VCs do, or just it is just an initial step?
Well, it's initial, of course. It's not as deep as a VC or something. We are looking here for a crowd, but the crowd will, in the end, invest, not the incubator or the specialists themselves. So, for instance, I think that the average will be around 40 or 50,000 euro, which is raised through the platform. Means that we use, for starters, the business model canvas to check if, let's say, for the company to check if their idea is valid. And then, we point them out that, there are other, let's say, means in business plans they can use to really calculate their return. We ask them also to make a specification. It has to show, of course, on the platform that they make a return, because otherwise people will not have trust in the outcomes of their investment. But we use the financial specialists because we want to open the website also for the specialists to pick several ideas out of it. Maybe they want to invest directly already in those people. So that means you don't have to go over the hassle of doing the crowdfunding campaign. Some financial, let's say, business angel or bank will take out the idea already, say, hey, this is really interesting, we have an interest in doing this, we can do the financial direct without crowdfunding. So we're not going into very much detail in the finances. We stay general there.
Just to avoid major mistakes, right?
Of course we have, yeah.
Because the biggest mistakes are during the first period of the company.
Yeah, but then they should enter into the incubator, because if they enter into the incubator, then we can provide them more assistance. And of course, this is also a deal flow generator for the incubator as well. And as also mentioned here, you don't need to offer workspace to enter into the incubator. That's the same with us. We also have a virtual part of incubation. That means that the people have their own office, but they want to become part of the community of the incubator. They want to share the training and the coaching, and they have to pay a fee for that. We will not stay into the incubator.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay. On another practical note, Lennard, how does the cost of finance then compare for the SMEs looking for funding against the traditional venture capital funding? You said with banks it's probably less, it's more expensive.
Banks probably is
bank.
less expensive than crowdfunding.
Yeah. But the venture capital would cost more perhaps because they are renowned for taking a bigger stake and...
Well, let's say most of the venture capitalists take an equity stake in a company.
Yes.
That means they put in money,
Yeah.
and then if the company goes really well, they get out more money, of course. So that
Yes.
on average, if you compare like interest percentage, then the equity would really deliver a much higher interest percentage, of course, to the investor
Yes.
than a loan will. But a loan has more security for an investor.
Yeah.
So therefore, the interest rate on a loan is lower than if you compare to equity.
Yes.
So for crowdfunding, I think the interest rate is comparing to a subordinated loan interest rate of a bank or a VC into a company.
Have you had any comments from banks on the platform that you're planning to use, or have you?
They are very interested. They're very interested, and then we're talking to the local banks from ING and Rabobank and ABN, AMRO, and they are interested because everybody is looking for the best ideas.
Yes.
And if this is let's say, by the traffic it will generate because of the stake of the city of Leeuwarden into a crowdfunding campaign, they are also looking forward to get and see the ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I just got one time for one.
No, that was excluded.
I know I was not allowed, but I'll try anyway. Do you see a conflict if you have an incubator company which wants to go for crowdfunding and you have to say no to them?
I would motivate them to do so.
Okay, but could it happen that you are not?
I hope so. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's different. It's another, let's say, a managerial part than the managing of the incubator itself. So I would say it's an added service. If we can assist an incubatee into the business angel network, into the banking network, or into the VC network, we can also interest them into either Crowdabout Now, which is a national platform, or our own platform in the end. I would say it's a competition between platforms. I foresee also later, what I told you, a shakeout in the market of crowdfunding platforms in the end. So the best business model works in the end.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean automatically that you have access to this crowdfunding platform?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You got a quick one? Just do one more. Sorry.
I just want to ask if there is any conditions for the company to apply to this program. I know that something similar is running in the UK, quite successful, but there is a limit to have at least 2 years of existence and some track record. So
No, we have said it's you have to have a Chamber of Commerce registration, so meaning that you are going into business.
okay.
Oh, okay, one more.
Thank you. Congratulations for the initiative, Lennard. Do you provide to the companies to be crowdfunded legal contract templates to establish the relationship between the investors and the company?
Yeah, that is part of the crowdfunding platform.
But they are finally the company is also free to change and amend the contract according to each type of.
No, if the company associates with that crowdfunding platform, they will use that because it is. The crowdfunding platform is in between, always. There's a contract with a company who wants the money, and there's the contract between the crowdfunding platform and all the individuals getting the money there.
Okay.
That's standardized.
To provide more security to the investors, I think, yeah. Okay, yeah. And so finally, the legal relationship between the investor and the company is that the investor is just someone who provides a loan, or it has a share of the company?
Okay, we're touching now into the legal issues. a crowdfunding platform is a means of transfer, basically, of the money which is gathered from the crowd into the company. But it is not like the holding company for the whole loan. It is only transferring the money. So it's doing the administrative kind of job. So you have to see that all of the 10 euros, 100 euros will come together in one account. And if they top the level the SME is or the startup is looking for, then it says yes, and then the money will transfer in one batch to the SME, but delivered next to that, and they will not get it upon asking, is a list of administration from which individuals the money comes from. And in the end, legally speaking, every individual has the right to claim their money directly at that company without transferring through the platform. So if the company is not able to return the money, and there's still a lot of experience, I think, to gain in that kind of work and field, every individual has the right to claim that money. Okay. So that means that if you do that crowdfunding work, you can have a lot of people knocking on your door if you're not making it. But on the other, and then so the positive side, there's many people who will forget about their 10 or 100 euro in about 4 years. So they will not knock.
Thank you.
Or that's the fact. I think the Crowdcube will maybe can tell you a bit more about it. Because I think the UK is more experienced in this than the Netherlands is. There's not so many returns in the company finances by crowdfunding.